It's a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but if you're passionate, then this is definitely a great career path for you.
First actual job was as a production coordinator, and it was because it was for stop motion production. It was over a couple of years that I was there, so I progressed from standard standard front-end production, and then I moved into the visual effects side of production and the tech viz for the floor. It was a wonderful way to come into the industry, and it definitely harnessed an interest in staying.
My first job in the industry is this job, which is texture painter at Lucasfilm. When I first came here, I was kind of lost, but then people here were very nice, and then they all knew that I was new, so they all really did all they could to help me get on track with things.
The amazing thing is I get to know the people behind the movie creation itself, and then as for my ID team, I get to talk to them. Unlike on the ordinary technology team, like outside this VFX company, it's like very hard to reach out to some people. So I would say that I love working here.
There are a lot of people that help me along my career, and I'm really grateful for all the people that give me guidance. When I first joined the company, I know nothing about VFX. I was from a feature animation background. The production manager at that time gave me a lot of guidance, and there was tough time, but she was very encouraging, and she really shaped who I am right now. So I'm really grateful and thankful for everything she has done for me.
It's never, said out loud, but there's definitely been situations where I feel like, a specific role comes up, and the person first being considered and promoted would be a male candidate that I believe is not as qualified as I was. The way I took from it was that I just had to ask more. Ask more often. I started talking to my artist manager and clearly lay out why I think I deserve the promotion and why I think I would be great at the job.
I wasn't professionally excluded, but I go through on a daily basis of, I build myself up and down. Boy, is this the right thing for a woman to be doing, or what is the biases? I'm constantly aware of the biases that are against women. So every time I do something, I always what does it speak for women as a whole, not just for me.
At times, I will feel that if there's actually more women in the industry, it would have been a bit more balanced. Like in Chinese, we always talk about the yin and the yang. So if we have a balance in this sense, I think we can actually achieve more.
I think for me, especially within the Singapore market, there's a bit of a cultural challenge that comes with trying to get people into this industry, and a lot of it is around education of what are the roles that you can actually do in this industry, and there's so many, and really branding that, and very much going out to those schools and saying, have you ever thought about wanting to work on films? Well, these are the avenues you can get into, and if you want to be qualified, these are the degrees you can go into. And I think, as we know, computer science or engineering is very dominated by males, and trying to change that. And I think a lot of countries are looking to try and build, increase the female rate into those courses. And I think definitely within Singapore, I can definitely have an influence in that, especially within our industry in visual effects.
I think it's just from a culture point of view. Obviously the Asian culture is very different to Western. They've got there are many different levels to the way they like to interact and communicate, which are very different to our Western ways. We're a little more forthcoming, and this is what we want, this is what we're going to do. Whereas Asia, they're a little bit more guarded, and they very much take things face value, and they to coin some sort of phrases that are used, you've got things like manzi that you have to take into account and be conscious of. So there are aspects to the culture differences that make it working in those environments different.
The great thing about the industry is that you know, you have to be quite creative about how you crew it up, because obviously sometimes the budgets for the Asian films are lower than the budgets for the more Western movies. So you have to be quite creative. So hiring local talent, you know, and helping to train them up and giving them chances and shots of proving themselves in different roles. So I think there are lots of opportunities for women because of that locally, which is great, and men locally as well.
Confidence is a big determinant of how successful we'll be, and I think it's important to help the younger generation to understand they are every bit just as capable as men in every way. And, you know, it's just about working hard, asking questions, and be fearless.